Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm Kevin, and today we're back to our politics topic. So, in our last topic, we already talked about who have the right to vote and who don't. So, in that topic, the first things that we need to have to get the right to vote for an election, even when that's a local election, a national elections, or every kind of election, that you have to be an adult. So if you are an adult, you have the right to go to check, and if you can, you will satisfy all the demand, all the needs of the things that you need to have to become a voter. Okay, or you could say to become a vote resistor. So if you don't, if you are not an adult, everything that you got is like meaningless. You don't have anything to prove that you have the right to vote when you don't have, or when you don't being, or you are not an adult. Okay, so a lot of children thinking that this thing is unfair in America and in some kind of country, but they don't know what is count as an adult, and the children don't know why they cannot go into vote either. So today we are going to talk about the topic who count as an adult. Of course, this is just a bonus topic to support the meaning for the last topic. We already talked about who have the right to vote and who don't. Okay, so it's also being a quick and very simple videos. The first thing, in most countries, you can vote until you are at least 18 years old, and usually the voting age is 18, which means that when you pass the 18 age, you have the right to vote as an adult. Of course, you have to satisfy all the demand to get the right to vote. But still, the first thing you have is to pass 18 age. But some country, in some small country, they still have different kind of rule about different age that you can use or have the right to vote. So the first examples about this are to explain about why that you need to get over 18 years old to vote. So let's take an example here, and we will going to explain it later. The first one, a kid asks, why don't I get a vote? An older state, society says children are immature and don't know enough. Of course, this is usually right, but sometimes there is some children that know more than others because their knowledge, and they are like, you could say that they're knowledgeable and also they're smart. Okay, so if in some case the children know more than some others, maybe, but there has to be an age limit, because we didn't want, or you wouldn't want to have a baby that voting. So the question is, why can the limit be something like 14 years old but have to be 18 years old? Some children ask, you can have a job in a lot of country when you are 14 instead of 18. So the answer is, you are unlikely to earn enough money to pay taxes, and also you don't owe enough to taking responsible for things you did. At least sometime when you are 14 years old, you may taking some serious responsible and also some light responsible. Still, something that is too bad maybe will not going to be used on you, because at that time you are usually not have enough knowledge yet. Of course, in some country, when you commit a crime, no way it's no matter how old you are, you still have been caught. Okay, now let's come back to the children words. The children say neither do unemployed others or employed others, they still can vote. So unemployed others can vote, but that's not because they can pay taxes. But children like us, 14 years old people, can work, can earn money, even though when we don't have enough to pay tax. But that means we're just better than unemployed others. So why we don't get the vote when they are? So the others say the unemployed do all the valuable things for society. They often raise children or look after the elderly relative, which means that they do things that is not officially a work that been heard by a community, by a group, by a group or by a company. They are going to do it like personally by asking for job from the others family or for others people. For example, when you want to have a cleaner for your house, you maybe will going to ask unemployed people for that. And also sometimes people who are employed maybe can turn into an unemployed people when the company is like going to break down, going to stop, or they don't have enough quality to keep up doing the job on that company. Okay, so the point here is the point here is that, yeah, you see, you say you going, yeah, the like unemployed others going to make things good for the society instead of making money at a big amount. But of course, even when they don't have money, they still doing things good for society. But when we talk to children, officially they are doing a lot of things that better for society too. For example, they help their grandpa, grandma take water, cleaning house, going to dry clothes, or even going to help their neighbor to do things when they were young, and those neighbors are too old to do that. So as long as they did it for other people, they did it for the society and for the community. So that means they are still the same as the others, right? So the others answer, yeah, that's a nice try, but in the end, it's not the interest of politicians to lower the voting age. Young people like charging things, including who's in charge, which means that we still are young people. Even though we are smart, even though we are good, even though we help the society, we are not patient. We're impatient. We like to take charge of everything. Even when in love, even when in games, like study, we always like to control it. For example, when you go to study, as children, you always want to have a high scores, or at least higher than what your friend is. Even though it's what a greedy examples, but yeah, you want to control your score as you want, so that you could prove yourself to each others. Or when in love, you want to take charge, you want to taking the lead of a relationship, you want to making the girls or your boys going to love you by what you do. But sometimes you do it wrong, and that's even going to break your relationships into pieces. Of course, I'm not having any experience in this, so I'm not understanding it properly. So in theories, if you guys just like to taking charge of things, but don't going to make out like complicated plans enough to impress, or going to fix all the bad points, all the hole, all the faults in the plan, there's still a chance that you are going to be failed. Of course, everybody have some faults on their plan, so that they don't go into plan completely right. So that's why sometimes people still wrong. But that thing happen more often to children, because children just like taking charge so much, and they just try to do everything to taking the control of some situation as fast as possible. And that means they will going to skip a lot of steps that lead a normal, a smart, a knowledgeable, a good, or you could say a big person. Yeah, the big here is mean like he's the boss. He's the one who really know how to take control. The one who really could control and changing the atmospheres of the something. And that's when the kid lose the thing that people like the boss, like the people who can really control something going to do. They skip all of those steps, and that's why even though the plan look like they were going to take charge, but in the end they all false. Okay, so that's all I want to say with you guys today. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys on my next video. And now it's time for us to say goodbye then. See ya.